Greetings everyone. So we are up on the lift, and in today's video I want to show you how we are flashing the skylights. When I looked on the internet, there was very little information on how to do this, and so I figured I will show you how we're flashing the skylights. Alright, to start flashing the skylight, I want to put my two Z-bars in these panels here, and they need to finish at 4 inches from the skylight because my flashing, it's essentially a wall-to-roof flashing, is it comes out 4 inches. So I want to set these Z-bars so they're 4 inches from the vertical edge of the skylight. All right, I need to measure down 4 inches off the skylight because that's where I want my Z-bar to finish. There we go. Let's see. That's actually 2.5 off this part. So that should be 4. Yep. And then 4 on this side. All right, now we'll set those Z-bars in there. And I've got butyl tape on all the sides. All right, I'm going to go do the other one and I'll bring you back after that. So I had cut this panel off because I didn't want to make a 1 inch wide, but I do have a whole bunch of white showing here, and my Z-bar, what's going to come out from behind here and go over, will show white. So we're going to snap a little section of leftover female snap on this, and it'll cover up any of the white that might be showing out from under this wall to roof. All right, in order to accomplish this overlap here, I need to squish this in a little bit. All right. So now, when you look under here, you'll see all brown as opposed to the white of that clip. So now we can put our Z-bar in and we'll keep moving. All right, let's pop this Z-bar in now. And we'll screw it in. That's it. Next thing I want to do is close off the top here, and I'm going to get a little piece of Z-bar, and it'll help divert any water that may get behind my the pan, the skylight pan. It'll divert it around this side. All right, so I put a little Z-bar around the back here, and I've tucked it into the seam where the clip, so any water that may come around, if it does get behind my counter flash, it'll put it back in this pan. All right, I got my Z-bar cut. So it comes over the 3 inches plus 1 to get me. I need to be 4 inches off of the side of the skylight, so we'll set the Z-bar there, and it's got to be tight on my metal flange to give me my 4 inches off the sidewall there. I'm sorry, that was might have been a little quick. So let me get this squared up, and then we'll screw it in. All right. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing over here that I did on that side. I'm just going to cap this off with another piece of Z-bar going the opposite direction, and just to protect any water that could possibly blow up in here after I get the pan in. All right, so the front piece is, I opened up the hem on the bottom here. It's hooked on the Z-bar, and we have pushed it up to the flashing, and the flashing actually has a rubber gasket that'll counter flash this, but I'm gonna put a couple of screws in that. Got it. I want to see it. Okay. All right, now I'll take my tongs and I'll crimp this down tight so it's on the Z-bar. I see a few in there, there's one right here. Okay, now we're going to do similar. I've got this cut off at an angle, so it makes a nice little 45-degree here. I've added pookie or caulking just in case we get some water blowing up in there. It will prevent it from getting in behind the flashing. So let me slide this in behind the rubber. Not. It's hanging up on the bottom. My hem wasn't open enough down here in the bottom. we go. I'll put some screws in it. All right, I'll need to cut this, okay, before I do that. So I probably don't need the pop rivets because we did hook the hem of that flashing on the Z-bar, but Metal Sales actually wants pop rivets in it. The way those pop rivets are going in, if they do leak, they're just going to leak onto the panel because that Z-bar comes up and out, and we're pop riveting on that. So it probably makes a stronger product. There's no chance of this flashing sliding down at all since it's pop riveted into that Z-bar. So the top pan offsets up, and then I've got it wrapped around the edges, and then I ran it long, like to come out past this 4-inch flash. So any water that's in the top of the pan will come around and fall here and avoid getting into all these little nooks and crannies that are possible. All these are sealed up, so anything blowing in that direction won't go in there. But the majority of the water that runs around now drops off here. And then I put in my offset cleat. So I came up 6 inches in the back, and then on the sides it tapers down to nothing where this the pan folds. And so the panels will go from here the rest of the way up the roof, and from that corner of the bend right there the rest of the way up the roof, etc., going around. And that's what it looks like with the panels added. We used offset cleat that came up 4 inches, then straight across, and then it went down 4 inches over there to meet up with the flashing pan. So now to finish it off, I'm going to use the flashing that comes with the skylight. It starts up here at the top, goes down the bottom, around, and back up. And then I have a counter flashing that's going to hook on the top of this and come down as well to finish off the water seal on the top, and it'll kind of overlap the factory flashing. All right, so we got the regular window flashing on.
Now he's gonna mark the counter flashing for a little bend here.
Right there, so it's coming up 7 inches. Goes around, and then I'm going to cut this to drop down 7 inches, so it should end up about here, which basically counter flashes what they have and what we have. And it hooks over the top here, so any rain drops in this gully, which comes down here and then runs out, etc. So let's get this notched and wrapped around. You want me to wait for you?
It's rolling.
Oh, okay.
Just putting some of those metal roof screws, washers on them. I got a paint match too, which is kind of nice. What you doing there, Scotty boy?
I'm just going to crimp this off now so it's tight over this little gutter, and that'll seal it up.
See ya.
Oh.
I'm sure I can find another one. Hold on.
And that is the finished product on the skylight. I'll drop down a little lower so you can see underneath the flashings and how the water will run around everything. So there's a good look. You can see how everything is flashed and counter flashed, and how the water will travel along that Z-bar and then right on out. So that's going to wrap up the video on how I flashed in the curb-mounted Velux skylights that we have on the porte cochere. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. Hopefully it's helpful. Like I said earlier, there wasn't a lot of information on how to do skylights or chimneys, go around chimneys and whatnot when I was looking for this vertical seam type of roof. There's a lot of other videos on the wavy roofs and stuff like that, but not really much on the vertical seam. So the only other advice I could offer is be patient. That was an all-day project, getting in all that Z-bar, all the flashings and the counter flashing and everything that you saw on this video. That's a whole day's project right there. So I have 6 skylights in the house, so that's going to be 6 days worth of work just on those alone. I haven't figured out how to make that process any faster unless I had somebody who could cut all this stuff for me ahead of time, and it would just fit like magic. But problem is, every cut up there was pretty much different, and depending on where the skylight is on the roof, that upper pan has to be adjusted based on where the skylight is. So it's just not something that you could have, you know, some stock item for. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.